And this is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. Good afternoon, and this is the Qso-Vlog program. We are running our recorder, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout, and we will be recording and then posting it up on YouTube later on, so you can go to YouTube and be able to check out your audio. This is probably about as pristine a recording as you can get. We pay particular attention to the front-end RF level. We are running just below AGC compression, so there is no discoloration of your the signal-to-noise ratio. And we are running usually an attenuate about 20 dB, so there is no overload problems. And we usually start off by checking in with Mr. Charlie up around Canada, K1GZL. Charlie, you in this afternoon? I heard something back there. Charlie's been having some antenna problems. He's got like a almost a Yagi antenna, full or a quarter wave a Yagi antenna for 40 meters. It stretches out over quite a bit of acreage, and he did have some snow and ice that caused problems on a few of the elements, and he was going to have to get a bucket truck in there to do some work to clean that up. I don't know if he's done that or yet. Charlie, you got a copy? I hear somebody back in there, but I don't think it's Charlie. Charlie, even on a bad day, usually gives me about an 8 dB over my noise level. Anyway, we are recording, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording, and we'll record it and then post it up on YouTube in a couple of days, and you can check it out there. This is KC9VKV.
Whiskey 4, Mike Charlie.
Whiskey 4, Mike Charlie. Let me find my pen and everything. Let's see. Whiskey 4, Mike Charlie. Is that a Roger?
Roger. Lima Yankee November. We're located in Wake Cross, Georgia. How's your day?
Ah, from Wake Cross, Georgia. How's it going down that way?
It's going really good today, Jim. It's about 71 degrees. We're running a Kenwood 12010 into the MC50 Kenwood mic into a Carolina wind. I'm up about 33 feet. How we sounding today?
I'm getting you about 5 dB over my noise level. Just out of curiosity, what kind of mic are you running there, sir?
This is the MC50 Kenwood.
Roger. What if you come right up on that microphone? Let me hear you right on top of the microphone.
Okay, we're right up on top of it, Jim. Is that any different?
Looks like about a couple of dB, which is not bad on a day like today. Roger.
Roger. Does he turn my gain up a little bit? I haven't had this thing checked out on.
Yeah, go to ALC and watch your ALC when you bring mic up. So you want that running, somewhere between halfway and 2/3 in that pocket right there.
Okay, that's a little bit hot there.
What was the name down there in Georgia?
The name is Lynn, Jim. Lima Yankee November.
Roger, Lynn. So let's see. How much are you running in your ALC now?
It's peaking right at the edge of the line of the ALC. It's about 3 on the mic gain on the radio.
Roger. So you're getting at least halfway deflection on the meter, or 2/3, somewhere in there?
That's correct.
Roger. Well, we're right now, getting about a 5 dB over noise level, so that's a pretty good trip. You run about 100 watts?
Yes, sir. Not much we can do with this thing, but just hopefully it sounds pretty good.
Roger. Now, and that radio, does it have EQ on it?
No, No, sir, it does not. I think you have to move up to the 130 to get that. 120 is just a bare bones radio.
Oh, roger that. Roger that. Well, it's, you know, I would add a little top end if I could. Now, I'm sure that's probably before condenser microphones were available for radios. Is that a roger?
Yes, sir. This one is, right now it's on the high cut. It does have a low and a high, and right now it's on the high.
High cut, try the other position. It's got two positions?
Yes, sir. Give me just a second. On this one, you have to actually take the cord out, so give me 1 second.
Oh, don't do anything drastic on my behalf. I just always interested in options, you know. High cut doesn't exactly sound like something I would like. I'm always pushing for that top end, you know.
How's it sound? Is this any better? This is on the low.
Uh-oh, it sounds a little distorted. Come back and let me hear you again.
This is on the low cut on the mic.
Yeah, come on top of it and let me hear you.
Right on top of it now, Jim. How's that?
All right, and that is with the high cut off. You're running without high cut on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have to take the mic cable out, push it around 180 degrees to see if
Roger, Roger, Len. Well, I don't have a good enough copy. What I would suggest would be to go back like it was. Go back like it was, because I don't have good enough copy on you to actually hear the difference there. So you know, so I wouldn't want you to advise you erroneously. So I would go back where I was until we have some better conditions. Roger, Roger.
Okay, Jim. We put it back where it was. Hopefully it's at least some audible. So if I try to get a little pile up or a rack too, you can understand it. Go ahead.
Roger that. Yeah, I usually lean towards the top end articulation, you know. I don't seldom ever roll anything off in the top end. I'm usually pushing it because the top end gives you articulation. And that's, you know, much needed when you're, particularly in marginal situations. I think you need all of the articulation in your audio you can get so they can copy the words, even though the noise level is quite high. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Maybe one day we'll move up to one of those 7300s or something you were talking about with the other bill earlier.
Oh, Roger, yes, that's a beautiful radio. I hope today to get a hold of somebody that will give me like a 10 over or 15 over, either a 7300 or a 7610, and just be able to go through it real fine and check everything out and maximize all the possibilities. I'd like for somebody to check in with a 7610 that gives me about a 15 over, so we can really hear what's going on and we can work on that drive control and just maximize the EQ. And actually I want to compare the hand mic with the stock hand mic with the mic that they might be running now. I have certain thoughts about that stock hand mic. You know, I think that's I think they really worked hard on getting that stock hand mic to just do wonders for that radio, and I think that they're going to have to do quite a bit to you know, to equal that if they go to another microphone, you know.
Yes, sir, I got you. Well, Jim, I'll let you go, bud. I appreciate you putting me on the radio, and I'll listen for the recording.
Roger, Roger, Lynn. Yeah, should be a couple of days from now. Within a couple of days, I'll put it that way. We'll have it uploaded, and you know the drill, how to get there, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Thank you, and you have a great day at 73. W4 Mike Charlie out.
Roger, Roger, Lynn. 3's down that way, so you have a real good afternoon. This is KC9VKV in the Qso-Vlog program. We are recording, and we will record you if you would like to check out your audio. And we'll post it up on YouTube, and then in the next couple of days we'll have it there, and then you can drop by and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We have now about 340 Qso-Vlogs. But you'll be looking for one on the front page that is entitled My Group Aircheck, My Group Aircheck 11/30/18, which coincidentally is today, 11/30/18, My Group Aircheck. So you give us a shot if you want to get your audio in there. KC9VKV. Nothing heard. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Let me check. We're just kind of checking out some audio differences here. One is the outboard limiter, which we have in now, and it's doing pretty good. Sometimes later on it wants to maybe limit too much for some reason. I need to make a delicate adjustment with my 8-pound sledgehammer and get that turkey running right. But other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, we're sitting here looking like this, and this is KC9VKV in our Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We are recording, and then we'll post it up on YouTube in the next couple of days. KC9VKV. I hear somebody back in there, but you are right at my noise level. My meter, my VU meter that I watch everything with, it's just kind of bumping up just a little bit above my residual noise level, so I can tell you're in there, but I can't make out the words. You might try coming closer to Mike and see where that goes.
If you have a high noise level, the noise level same as the noise level, then we'll just forget about it there. I changed the element. I'm on the wider element on the goal line number 4 there. I had it on the narrow element there. I'm on the wider audio element there.
Roger, Roger. Well, that wider level kind of helps you. You're about 4 dB above my noise level now, and I can hear you pretty well, Roger. Well, I could. Mother Nature, you know, she gives and she taketh away, and you are back down towards my noise level again. But there are possibilities there, you know. Like I say, you came up about 5 or 6 dB above my noise level, and then it was just hard to figure out exactly what the band is doing this afternoon, Roger.
We're in southern New Jersey, 15 miles east of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania there. I know you got a 9 call. You're somewhere in the 9 district there, unless it's a vanity call. Mine is a vanity call there, so I'm not in the 1 call area. We're only running 100 watts. I don't have a 96 watts here. Pretty good with it, arrangement. So far, so good. So, what is your handle and where are you located? And hopefully I'm above your noise level. I am driving everything is already back down.
Yeah, a marginal signal there. I caught some of that. I caught TOM. I'm assuming that your name might be Tom. Not real sure, though. This is KC9VKV. We're doing our Qso-Vlog program for Friday afternoon. We usually run between 3:30 and 5, and we are running our Qso-Vlog recorder, and we are then get your signal in and post it up on YouTube in the next couple of days, and you can go to YouTube and hear yourself. We are located near Louisville, Kentucky, and let's try one more time that TOM station. Nothing. Zero zip. Mother Nature is not being very kind this afternoon. We tried to get up with Charlie up towards the Canadian border there, K1GZL, who many times gives us an opening story, but I guess he's still out of commission because of the icing and snow up that way. But anyway, and it looks like conditions are not very favorable this afternoon, but we shall try to see what we can do anyway. This is KC9VKV. Pretty good. Okay, on Kentucky. I used to live in Montreal, Indiana. Montreal, Indiana, right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, there. So I know the area pretty well. So, okay, we'll catch when the band is a little bit better there.
So was it taken in a few
there. So that means the band is shifting at this time of day. As you know, the band goes longer this time of day. So that's what's happening. All right, 73, KC9VKV. This is K1 CSW 7373. Thank you.
What was the name, please?
The name here again is Tom. Tango Oscar Mike. Tango Oscar Mike. Over.
Roger, Tom. Can you give me the phonetics of your call sign again, please?
Kilo 1 Tango Sierra Whiskey. Again, Kilo 1 Tango Sierra Whiskey. Over.
Roger, Tom, got that. And so we will be posting this in the next couple of days. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And then look for a segment called My Group Aircheck 11/30/18. It will be entitled My Group Aircheck 11/30/18, today's date. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, what is my best signal report out there in Kentucky? You're 10/9, over.
All right, sir. My receiver is tuned kind of unusual in that we have a reduced RF front end. I can't give you an S meter reading, but I can give you a VU meter reading, audio reading. You are 7 dB above my residual noise level. You were 7 dB above my residual noise level. Roger?
Roger that. Very good. That tells me I'm somewhere over 5.9 there. So, okay. Thank you very much there. Yeah, that's my antenna system there. 34-foot radiator with 11 elevated radios there. The common is 3 to 4 elevated radios there. So I'm way above that. So that gives me a lot. Over. 73. Thank you. This is K1 CSW 73.
Roger, Roger, Tom. 3 is up that way, so thanks for checking in. Wish we'd had better conditions, but Mother Nature is some kind. She's just, sometimes it's just really stingy. So it seems like that today. But anyway, there's some high spots you can hear your audio fairly well, and so you can tell what's going on there. 3 is that way, and thanks for the checking in, Tom. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. This one is entitled My Group Aircheck 113018. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. We are recording. KC9VKV.
WD4 HXG.
WD4, give me the rest.
Whiskey Delta 4, Hotel X-Ray Golf. Name is Chuck. QTH is Goldsboro, North Carolina. Wanted to give you a heads up. You're popping a signal in here about 30 over.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. That's the reason that we were, initially we were in the morning. We were going from 10:30 till noon, and our 100-watt stations coming in from 300 and 400 miles away were just coming in at about a 1 or 2 dB above the noise level. So we thought we might get a better situation going in the afternoon. So maybe we have. What's the name there?
I'm sorry, name is Chuck, like in a woodchuck. My home QTH is Sterling, Virginia, just outside of D.C., but I'm visiting family down in North Carolina. They're about 40 miles southeast of Raleigh right now. KC9VKV WD4 HXG.
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running and how much power?
Okay, I'm running the FT950, the Yaesu FT950. Running 100 watts into an 80-meter loop that's tuned up on 40, and feeding it with ladder line and a Johnson matchbox.
All right, we've got some folks there with another radio. I don't know what they're doing, but this the frequency is in use, so hang in there, man. Just relax. So check that you're coming in really well. Come back and let me see just how much you're doing here.
Okay, appreciate that. As I said, I'm running a loop antenna, a rectangular loop, or a square loop, I should say, for 80 meters, and I have it tuned up on 40, and using open wire feeder to drive it. And I found that to be sort of the ideal antenna for multiband operations in a fixed location. KC9VKV WD4HXG.
Roger, Roger there, Chuck. I just had to finish off your call sign, writing it down. That's interesting, and loops are really interesting. I've got one loop, a full wave loop, vertically mounted, driven from the top on a rotor that I use for 10 meters. It's on a PVC frame, and the frame is 10 foot on the horizontal and 8 foot on the vertical. And like I say, it's under a rotor's under it there, and it's only probably about 20 feet off the ground. But man, when conditions, well, obviously when conditions are right, you can do anything. But it's just beautiful. And the thing about a vertical loop is it just has an ungodly ability to put null signals out. You can null a 50 over signal with that thing, Roger.
Okay, I wasn't quite aware that you could get that intensity. I'm using a horizontal loop, and primarily because I have the trees to hang it up in the air. We don't have the power here. And actually, I use a loop at my home QTH in Virginia also. These have proven to be quite adept at minimizing noise. I know here at Dad's place in North Carolina, the ambient noise level is such that even with the underground utilities, that verticals do not tend to work out very well for whatever reason that makes the noise so intense. I've tried a number of things to suppress the noise and have not had much of the way of success. Well, look, I won't hold you up there. It's good to speak with you. I appreciate your signal report, and thanks for your service that you're posting up there. Hope that everybody will be able to make good use of that. KC9VKV, WD4HXG, I'll be clear on your final.
Roger, Roger. And let me reiterate my call sign: Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. So when you go to YouTube and do that call letter search, you'll be searching the right station there, and then when the our Qso-Vlog page comes up, be looking for a segment that's called My Group Aircheck 113018. My Group Aircheck 113018. So threes to you, check. Sounding good, buddy, and glad you had a chance. We had a chance to make contact there. You have a most pleasant afternoon, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
73, WD4HXG.
Japan for Victor.
Roger, Japan station, come back with a call sign, please.
Yeah, N1 NC1, Bravo Sugar Japan. Just wanted to compliment you on your audio.
Thank you, sir. I just have the last part of your call sign. Could you give me the whole thing phonetically again, please?
Yeah, Nancy 1 Bravo.
Roger, what's the name, please? Gosh, you're only about a dB above my noise level, sir. Come back with the name again.
We have no signal or something wrong with us?
No, nothing's wrong, just the signal strength. You came up a little bit that time. You're about 2 to 3 dB above my noise level, that last transmission, Roger.
Oh, okay. What's your noise level?
Well, my noise level is X, not much, you know. I'm just looking at what's left after I adjust you for zero level on a VU meter. I have a VU meter tied to my receiver, and I adjust incoming audio level for zero level, and then what's left when nobody's talking is the noise level, Roger. Roger. Whereabouts are you and how much power?
Yeah, just 100, 100, up in New York today, over.
Roger. Not good conditions today, sir, from New York. I did copy 100 water from down in Georgia, but it was like around 2 or 3 dB above noise level. So, like I say, we shifted from morning Qso-Vlog to an afternoon to try to get better propagation for our 100-watt participants, and sometimes Mother Nature is better at giving us a little bit better signal in the afternoon, but a lot of times she just says, "Yeah, we're not going to help you with 100 watts," you know.
Yeah, I understand. You took a deep fade. You took a terrible fade earlier, meaning about 40 seconds ago, but you're back up to around a 9, over.
Roger, Roger. Now, we're usually 15 over, 20 over, fairly well, all the way up through Montreal and in that area, you know. So we go north pretty well, Roger. Conditions kind of fell out there. But let me say threes there, and if you could, one more time with that call sign. I've got the last part, BSJ. Can you give me the first part a couple of times? Nancy 1, BSJ. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. I'll have you down in the book correctly. try to do our best to keep all the call signs and names correct, you know. So let me say threes for now, Ed, and maybe later on, if our signal perks up, you're still copying the mail, give us another shout, and we'll do the thing again, and you'll have another option. So threes for now, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV.
Okay, 422.
Station calling, repeat. There's a K4, maybe?
Kilo 4, Tango, Quebec.
K4TQ, this is KC9VKV.
Yeah, I'm located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and you probably kind of just dropping down about now. I got most of what you said. Name on this end is Vance, Victor Alpha, November, Charlie Echo.
Roger, Vance. Now, are we back up? What kind of signal you got at the moment?
You're 20 over, 20 over.
20 over. I'm getting you at about 8 dB above my noise level. About 8 dB above my noise level. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that. What do you say you're kind of checking people's radios and you wanted 100 watts? Is that correct?
Gosh, we are running a Qso-Vlog program between 3:30 and 5 on Friday afternoons, and we record, and then we post the Aircheck up on YouTube, the full hour and a half up on YouTube in a couple of days, and then you can go to YouTube and you do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll on YouTube, and that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and then you'll be looking for a segment entitled My Group Aircheck 113018. My Group Aircheck 113018. Roger?
Yeah, Roger on that. I got that a little while ago and wrote it down, and yeah, 100 watts is what I'm running here. I got this radio will do 200, but I do have it set at 100.
Roger, Roger. Well, that last transmission, you were 7 dB above my noise level. You were 7. If you were up at 200 watts, you would probably be about 9 dB above my, close to 10 dB above my noise level. If you wanted to experiment, if you got a chance, come up on the other power, and we'll see what it does.
Okay, I've got it up there now. That's 200 watts. Well, actually, it's showing about 100 and... hello, about 185, maybe 190, something like that. This is a XEDX 5000, so it's a 200 watt radio. And I'm just trying to show it for 100 watts in this radio. But it is doing 2200 about 185.
Roger, Vance. Well, as you can tell, Mother Nature kind of pulled the plug. Even before you went up on power there, she started fading out. So let me say 3's that way, sir. And we have got you pretty well there. If you want to check out your audio on YouTube, and the call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and the segment once you get to the Qso-Vlog page is My Group Aircheck 113018. So 3's for now, Vance, and thanks for checking in.
Okay, and thank you very much. Yeah, you just dropped down from 20 over to 059 and 10 over, and then back to 59. So it's band's changing a little bit, I guess. I understand we got a pretty good storm, magnetic storm coming in for a few days. We'll see what happens. And I got an amp too, but I don't even have it in line right at the moment. You take care of 73 Sue, and enjoy the Qso. K4TQ.
Roger, Roger, Vance, 3's that way, sir, and thanks for checking in. And like I say, we should have this posted up on YouTube in the next couple of days. You know, you would just find it in the timeline. And like I say, we're recording the full hour and a half from 3:30 till 5. At which time 5 o'clock we usually turn into a pumpkin or something there. But anyway, 3's and catch you later. This is KC9VKV and the Qso-Vlog.
KJ4, Zulu Mike Victor.
Terrence, how goes it, sir?
Hey, my friend, I'm just sitting back chilling, man. I'm copying the mail on you there, man. I'll tell you what there, Jim, you're sounding good as always there, Roger.
Oh, Roger, Roger, and likewise, sir. What you been up to?
Oh, nothing much, my friend. I'm just, I had to build a new computer, and I finally got that done. All of my programs are now, seem to be working fine. So just wanted to build a new computer and put my SVR stuff back on there, my ham radio deluxe stuff, and everything is working there, right?
Oh, Roger, Roger, what a novelty. I wish I could have that experience. I usually get one thing working and then something else bites the dust, and then just it seems to be a constant situation of repair. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Well, hey, if you ever need any help with anything like computer builds, I do that kind of stuff, and I find it to be interesting and fascinating and fun. So if you need any help with anything, let me know there, Roger.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that. Definitely keep that in mind. And, you know, because I'm running right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 computers, Roger.
Oh, well, you're computer rich over there. You pretty much got all the computers that you that one could need there, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Well, I used 3 on the set. A background animation, a foreground animation, and then the Qso-Vlog recorder, and it keeps you busy. You know, they all have to be RF proof, which not all computers, particularly the ones that are displaying, you know, they have to not shimmy and shake when the KW goes off.
Yeah, I can certainly understand the shimmy and shake in there when the KW goes off. Well, good deal, brother. Good deal. Well, look, Jim, I'm not going to tie it up, my friend. I'm sure there's a lot of stations out there that want to say hello to you. I need to get in the kitchen and do some cooking for the wife. She'll be coming in real soon, and hopefully sometime this evening I get back out here and play on the radio. Hey, it's always a pleasure, my friend. My neighbor over here in Indiana. You take care, Jim, and we'll certainly look for you again down the log. KJ4, Zulu Mike Victor.
Kilo Golf 4, Yankee Foxtrot.
Roger, Roger, Terrence. 3's that away, sir. You have a real good afternoon, man. Sounding great, as always. Catch you later. This is KC9VKV. There's another station back in there giving us a call. Go ahead, sir. I got November 4. November 4, try again.
November 4, Quebec Whiskey Kilo Mobile.
November 4, Kilo Whiskey Quebec, Roger?
The call is November 4, Quebec Whiskey Kilo, Queen, Washington, Kansas, and we're mobile in Northern Virginia.
I got you. What's the name up that way?
Name on this end is Randy, Romeo Alpha, November Delta King.
Roger, Randy. Now, I'm copying that mobile pretty well. Now, what kind of power are you doing in that thing?
I've got 100 watts. It's a Yaesu 857 going into an FC30 tuner, and that's going into MFJ, what is it, hot stick or whatever, the mono band mobile antenna. And sitting basically in a Silverado. And we're about, right now, about 10 miles south of Washington, D.C.
I didn't catch that last location. What was the location again?
About 10 miles south of Washington, D.C. in Springfield, Virginia.
10 miles south of Washington, D.C. Roger, Roger. Well, that's a smoking mobile. That is a smoking mobile for 100 watts, Roger.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I went ahead and I actually drilled into the side of the body, and I got one. About the only thing I got left to do is I got a little bit of ignition noise coming into the antenna, so I got to figure out where that's coming from under the hood.
Oh, Roger. Well, I mean, it's, you know, not too much area to look for there. It's just right there within 4 feet, you know. Probably have, you know, it might start off with new ignition wires. Usually that might be where the breakdown is. Somewhere in there, get oil on them, they go crazy. But anyway, that mobile sounding good, sir. And Randy, let me say 3's to you, sir. Thanks for checking in. And if you go to YouTube in the next couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And then look for a segment that's called My Group Aircheck 113018. It's My Group Aircheck 113018. Roger? Roger, Roger, 3Z away, Randy. You have a most pleasant good afternoon. This is KC9VKV and our Qso-Vlog program. And if you have a radio you want to have recorded or checked out, give us a shout. And we are recording between 3:30 and 5 Friday afternoons.
Whiskey 4, Yankee X-ray, Mike.
Whiskey 4, Yankee X-ray. Mike, go ahead.
You're 5'9" into Georgia. The name is Jeff. You got very good audio, and just want to say hello and appreciate you doing this.
Roger, Jeff. What kind of radio are you running there?
I'm running a brand new TS590 with 100 watts with a G5 RV about 25 foot off the ground.
Roger, Roger. Well, I don't want you to look at your ALC, but your dynamic range is about a dB and a half. Really fat audio.
Okay, I'll try to cut that back. How's that sound now?
No, I don't want you to do that. I mean, I love it. It sounds great. You know, I was just making fun. Put it back where it was.
Okay. Well, I've just set this radio up and been playing with it a little bit, and you're probably the second or third contact, Roger.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Well, it's beautiful, and you know, for that kind of dynamic range, there's very little distortion. What kind of compression are you running there?
Honestly, I don't remember. I set it up a few weeks ago, and I'll have to try to fumble through this. I've been running a TS450 for about the last 10 years and decided to upgrade, and this thing I haven't learned all the whistles on it yet.
Oh, I understand. Well, I think you found enough of them. I think you found enough of them to make it fly. So, threes, man, sounding good. And like I say, we are recording, and we'll be posting this on YouTube in the next couple of days. So, if you get a chance, drop by YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. That'll take you to the Qso-Vlog page, and then look for a segment called My Group Aircheck 113018. My Group Aircheck 113018. Roger?
Roger. QSL, thank you so much. It's 73. That's 4YXM. Be clear.
Roger, Roger. Jeff 3Z away, sir. Sounding good. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program.
W4OGH.
W4 OGH. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Bob. We're located in Central Virginia, and just checking out a relatively new rig.
Roger, Roger. What might that new rig be?
FTDX 5000.
Sounds mighty good. What kind of power is it you're running now?
About 200 watts.
Wow, impressive. Sounds really good. What's your antenna situation?
I got a Mosley Pro 77 Alpha up on a self-supporting tower.
Oh, no, okay, is that like a Yagi or what?
It is a Yagi. It's runs 7 elements, 7 bands. 30 and 40 meters is rotatable dipole, and then multi-elements on the other bands.
Roger, Roger. Well, and you got it pointed. We're around Louisville. I'm about 4 miles from downtown Louisville. Roger.
Okay, just a minute. I'm rotating it towards Louisville.
And the monster turns, and the signal comes up 1,000 dB.
Okay, well, we'll keep it right there and see how that is.
You are about 15 dB. I can't, you are about 15 dB above my noise level. Below that, you could be, but my meter doesn't show that, Roger.
Okay. Is the audio sound symmetrical?
Sounds beautiful. Sounds absolutely beautiful. Nice tonality. You know, it's on the Qso side of EQ, but, you know, there you go.
Okay, thank you very much. I set it up similarly to my ST2000, and with the parametrics, and then I run it at 100, 2900 bandwidth, and seems to be the best. I can go 3 or 4,000, or 3 or 4 KC bandwidth, but no need of that.
Roger. Is that the next step from where you are?
Yeah, the next step would be 3K bandwidth.
Well, if it was 3K, I believe that I claim the right out to 3K, with a sharp cutoff after that.
Yeah, just a minute and I can...
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor with a Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And we are recording right now. Bob is taking a look at his how wide he is.
Okay. Okay, I should be at 3K right now. Wait a minute. Okay, now I should be at 3K wide.
Roger, Roger. Just a little better, just a little better on the top. And is there any way that you could do, I'm just curious, if you did it like a 5 count and at 2 or something, is it easily to shift parameters there?
Yeah, just a minute. Okay, yeah, I could do that. 1, 2, 3. Oops, there goes just a minute. That's not for me, but... okay. Doggone it. There.
Now, it could be somebody calling you from Microsoft in India.
Well, that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's a spam call, so I just killed that one. Okay, now I'm at 3K wide, and let's see. I can't do what I wanted to do. No, I can't do it at the moment.
Roger, no problem. I just was curious because it didn't sound like much of a shift from 29 to 3, but 29 sounded good. You had some syllabics in there, and that's all you need for articulation, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I could go back to 129 now. Just a minute. Okay, now that's 100 to 2900 again.
Roger, I didn't notice much difference. I guess it's just so subtle that usually I think there may be a couple of KC difference in those shifts. I'm not. Hey, that's pay grades beyond where I am, Roger.
Roger. What I did is I now shifted to 300, 2700. And that should make some more of a difference.
Oh, Roger, yeah, you lost a lot of your syllabic range in that setting.
Right. Okay, very good. Well, what's the name there? I didn't write it down.
The name here is Jim. The call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and we're doing our Qso-Vlog program for Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5, where we are recording a long air check, about hour and a half long air check. Anybody checks in, they are recorded, and then we post the whole thing up on YouTube within a couple of days, and they can go up there and check their audio out. Roger.
Roger. I appreciate it, Jim, and I don't want to hold it up any longer on you. I appreciate the input, and I'll go back to the... Okay, that's 200, 2800, so I'm getting back up to where it was. I'm slow operating it because I'm just learning the whole system on the 5000 itself. Many thanks. I appreciate it, and have a good day.
Roger, Roger. Well, you know, what I found on that 7300 and the 7610 is that they have basically three bandwidths. And any one of those things, like in your compressor, you have a choice, you know, for how much compression, and then the three bandwidths, and then EQ, how much EQ and where, and then again that choice of three bandwidths. And any one of those choices of bandwidths will stick. So you have to be sure that all of those are, like if you want to be in wide, you have to be sure that all of those capabilities are in the wideband mode. Otherwise, you can't get to wideband. It just seems to me that there should be one place that you set your width, operational width. You know, just one place, and the other things shouldn't even be involved in that choice.
That is correct, and all I'm doing now is I'm using no processing, only what the parametrics are allowing in its adjustment.
Roger, sounds good, man. Sounds really good. I'll say threes to you, sir, and like I said, if you get a chance, check us out on YouTube and check your audio out, threes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Jim. W40GH.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you have a radio that you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording KC9VKV. There's a Foxtrot something there that's towards my noise level. Come back again with a call sign. I'm sorry, sir, you are about a half a dB above my noise level. You are about half a dB above my noise level, and I can't quite pull those words out. You might try coming up on mic and see if I can pull you out. Roger, Roger. Sorry, sir, Mother Nature is not being kind this afternoon. Mother Nature is not being kind. You came up there for a little bit when you crowded the mic. You did come up. I would advise maybe that you check your ALC and be sure that your mic level is about mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter, and that will ensure that you're getting the right audio level. And you know, then maybe I also noticed that maybe you might check out a little more top-end EQ on your audio, because even at the level that you were giving me, I think if you had a little bit better top-end on your EQ, I could have pulled you out. That's the thing about EQ in a marginal situation. If you've got enough top end, folks can hear the articulation even though the signal is not that much above the noise level. If you don't have much top end, I'll give you an example. If your top end is somewhere around here, then you mix in with the with the background. But if you have a nice top end, it will cut even though you don't have much RF. This is KC9VKV. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program between 3:30 and 5. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We are recording, and then we will post it up on YouTube, and you can go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to the Qso-Vlog page. We have about 340-something Qso-Vlogs now, but for today's Qso-Vlog is entitled My Group Aircheck 113018. My Group Aircheck 113018. This is KC9VKV. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program, where essentially we're air checking for about an hour and a half between 3:30 and 5. And if you check in, give us a shout. We'll talk a little bit, get you recorded down, and, you know, maybe advice on the setup of your radio. I was really looking forward today to maybe having somebody check in with a 7610, someone check in with a 7610 that was giving me like a 10 over or 15 over, something nice, that we could actually hear what we're doing on tape, and then we could go through that sucker and just see how fast that 7610 can run. I mean, I know it can do 300 miles an hour. I've already done that. But maybe it could do 450. That's an amazing radio. Once you get into you know, some of that radio, boy, it's just amazing. It can do it can take your dynamic range down to a half a dB. Now that's outstanding. A good normal dB is dynamic range is 3 dB. This can take it down to half a dB. Somewhere peak average modulation up around in the upper 90s, 90%. Not peak, but average peak modulation. But of course, we got to find somebody with a 7610. Hello, anybody with a 7610 that can give me about a 10 over? I'd appreciate it there. We could do some experimenting and just check and see what's what, you know. A little tweaking on the EQ, a little tweaking on the compressor, and a little yank or two on the some of the other parts of that radio.
Whiskey November 3 Tango on a 7610.
Wow, gosh, might have had some hum in there, but it cleared up. I got you. Come ahead, sir.
Yeah, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. This is Whiskey November 3 Tango, WN3T. The name is Rick, Radio India Charlie Kilo, and the QTH is Centerville, Virginia, and that's about 25 miles west of Washington, D.C. Go ahead.
Roger. What kind of radio are you running, sir?
That's a 7610, had it about 2 months. And I'm driving an Alpha 91B, putting out about 500 watts, and the antenna is a 2-element monobander, a high gain 402 BA up about 100 feet. Over.
Oh, Roger, now, you are my ideal station, sir. You are just the station I've been looking for. What I would like to do, and I don't know if you can do it, are you running the stock mic now?
No, I'm running the ICOM desk mic, the ICOM SM30. Over.
Excellent. Do you have the stock hand mic that it came with?
Yeah, I do, but it's packed away in the box, and I do not have it handy.
Oh gosh, that's the first thing I wanted to check out, because I have a theory about that hand mic, that they specially designed that hand mic for the 7300 and the 7610 just to give outstanding top-end audio, because I have before you know, check that mic out, you know, with another station, and he was running the stock hand mic, and it's I believe that's a condenser. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, I believe
you know, with another station, and he was running the stock hand mic, and it's I believe that's a condenser. Is that a Roger?
But the SM30 is a condenser, and yes, I have heard stations on a 7300 with the stock hand mic, and they sound excellent. What's the name on that end?
Name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and the call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. And the point I'm making is that, you know, folks just arbitrarily pull a hand mic off a radio and put their their other mic on there, which is usually a dynamic microphone. And the thing is, to match the clarity of articulation that lowly hand mic, condenser hand mic has, you would have to probably crank in quite a bit of top-end EQ on your dynamic to even come back to where that hand mic was. My theory, Roger. Gosh, Rick, Mother Nature kind of pulled the plug. She did pull the plug. I wanted to check to be sure I got your call sign there, but I think she pulled the plug there. If you got a copy, come back with the call sign one more time.
You got a double again.
Roger. Rick, we doubled there. I just wondered if Mother Nature is going to come back with conditions, so we might do some experimentation. Do you copy me now? I think I think Mother Nature's done it, sir. Rick, gosh, let me say threes. If you continue to monitor, if conditions come back, give me a shout, and we'll pick up where we left off. For sure. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording, and we'll post it up on YouTube, and you can check out your audio in the next couple of days on our Qso-Vlog channel. This is KC9VKV.
Good afternoon, KC9VKV, WD9SCF Wassa. We've spoken before. Are you wanting some information on the way you sound?
No. I was looking for 7610 to tinker with.
I gotcha.
Who's this?
Larry, Whiskey Delta 9, Sierra Echo Fox in northern Wisconsin. I just recorded you. Did you want to hear that played back?
Sure.
With another station, and he was running the stock hand mic, and it's I believe that's a condenser. Is that a Roger?
And there you go. That was just a few minutes ago.
Roger. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that, sir. I do appreciate that. Good to hear some feedback. We post a lot, but we don't get a lot back. Roger.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I'm running a flex, so you're listening to it without any it's direct sampling, so there's no parametric coming on the recording. So what you're hearing is the way it sounds.
Roger. Yeah, there's so many things today. Like I manually hand ride audio levels, as opposed to normalize or all that stuff. Normalizing just destroys the integrity of the signal to noise ratio, and I don't ever normalize, Roger.
Gotcha.
Then I hand ride the audio level on all my inputs and run it. The attenuator 20 dB in most all the time, and then the RF level comes up to just below any compression. So AGC compression is not doing anything, Roger.
Okay, well, you sound good. 76. How do you like the 7610?
Oh, I love it. I just would want one to play with this afternoon. I wanted to check out some of the parameters of that, to set up. It has the capability of doing a half a dB dynamic range, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it sounds good. Well, you're listening to a Flex 6400M here, and I'm just running a condenser mic on it. Sound okay on your end?
Oh, beautiful, yeah. A lot of folks, a lot of purists don't like condenser mics, but, to each his own. To me, happen to know or feel like condenser mic articulation capabilities far exceed the dynamic, although the dynamic can achieve some of those top-end frequencies with the right amount of equalization, but then if you just start with a condenser, you don't have to equalize.
That's right.
So, and I have a little deal on mine that's a homebrew. It's called a CRISPR, and it's a passive attachment to the element that accentuates the upper end, starting at about 3K on to about 12-15K. That goes nicely into the preamp, Roger.
Well, it sounds good on the air. I'm glad you're liking the radio. I was talking to a friend of mine that just bought his, and he's the guy that started amateur electronic supply 50-some years ago. He's retired now. He just bought that. He's had everything along the line, Collins and Yaeses and Kenwoods, but he's an ICOM guy, and he said this is the best radio he's ever run.
Roger. Yeah, the 7300 there led the pack for a long time, and then that 7610 came along, and with the drive control. That's what makes the 7610 such a beautiful radio, is the drive control, where you can just literally choose your dynamic range.
And what are you using for a mic on yours?
This is a homebrew condenser mic, Roger.
Okay, well, it's like I said, it's sounding good up here. You're, I believe you're about 10, 15 over 9, maybe 20 over 9 on some of the modulated peaks, but sounds really good.
Roger, do you have a meter there? You can check out how wide we are. I think should be somewhere around 3. Somewhere around 3. I'm not sure. I don't have those fine technical capabilities, but should be around 3.
Yeah, about 2.9, just under 3. You're right there.
Roger. And this is an older Yaesu 990 2.4.
Okay.
So we've worked a little bit on the transmit side, and we've worked a bunch on the receiver side to flatten the band pass much better than it was.
Do you own a 7610 now too?
No, I live by remote control.
Oh, okay.
I just find somebody that gives me a 10 over and got a 7610 and say, hey, let's go for a ride. Let's bring up on that EQ there and give me about five on compression and a little more on the the this and that, Roger.
I gotcha. And where are you located again?
We are beside Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky is about 3 miles from where I am. It's across the river, but I can see it from where I am, Roger.
Roger. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm up here in northern Wisconsin, about 2 hours away from Lake Superior, straight to the south of Lake Superior.
Roger that. And what mic are you using?
This is a Sennheiser.
Ah, very good, very good. Nice sound there. Now, are you wearing the traditional windscreen?
No, this is open actually. I'm not really a fan of windscreens if you don't need them, and I believe less is more. And this is less.
Oh, Roger. Well, I spent quite a bit of time working microphone, and I do love to work them close, and the only way you can do that really is with a foam windscreen, which I recommend to almost anybody that works a microphone on axis within a couple of inches, Roger.
Okay, well that's what I'm at right now. I'm about maybe 3 inches away, but I do not have the windscreen on.
Roger, I don't detect any transient stuff, no pops or anything. So it's a good mic.
So what's the weather doing in around Louisville?
Well, as near as I can tell, this morning it was a little chilly. I was out for a couple of seconds, and it was a little chilly, so I came back in, and that was my experience with the weather, Roger.
Yeah, it's what are we doing here? 30, just under freezing. It's 31.6, and the winds are out of the straight west right now at 3. So the wind chill and the actual recorded temp is about the same.
Roger, Larry, could you give me your call sign again phonetically, please?
Absolutely. It's Whiskey Delta 9, Sierra Echo Fox. Whiskey Delta 9, Sierra Echo Fox.
Roger, Roger, sir. Usually I've got a little trim pot, audio trim pot, that the first time somebody comes in, you know, I'm trying to trim them out zero-wise on the VU meter, and so, you know, I missed the opportunity to jot it down. I have to figure out another way around that. I guess I could use a limiter in there or something, but it's just a lot cleaner just to bring the pot down. Roger.
Absolutely. Hold on one second. I got a beep here. I got to take this call. I'll be right back. WD9 SCF.
Roger, Roger, Larry. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor and the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. We run between 3:30 and 5 usually, and we are recording. And if you happen to have a radio that you want to check the audio on, give us a shout. We will record it. We're recording for the full hour and a half or so, and then we post it up on YouTube. And you can go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to the Qso-Vlog page. And then you look today, you would look for a segment called My Group Aircheck 113018. Again, My Group Aircheck 113018. This is KC9VKV. About 3 stations. The loudest one. Go ahead.
I'm not sure who the loudest one is.
Somebody said, I'm not sure who the loudest one is. I think that was you, sir. What's the call sign? Oh, my goodness. Somebody's actually trying to get in there a couple of KC off or something, but I think we give as good as we get. So come back with that call sign again. WD3 what? Okay, I got Whiskey Alpha 3, Yankee what?
No, sir. Whiskey Alpha 3,
Zulu, Yankee, Oscar. Roger, Roger. I was thinking we failed again when you didn't come back. Anyway, what's going on this afternoon, sir? I'm only copying you now about a dB above my noise level. Signal has shifted down a little bit. You were a couple of dB above my noise level, but have shifted down now to just about a half a dB above my noise level. So try it one more time. Let's see if Mother Nature is going to be genuine. It's going to be helpful.
Okay, we'll try one more time, sir. I can go up a little and try to adjust the antennas there. I think I'm off a little. I'll be right back.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, and I'm just curious if you might be maybe a tad low on your modulation there. If you brought up your ALC and take a look there to be sure that you're mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC. See if that might help us out there. This is KC9VKV.
W83CYO. It does look like I'm running a little low on the modulation, sir, so I may have to clean some things up on the radio.
Roger, just pull up on your mic gain there a little bit, or a notch or two more on the compressor, whichever comes first.
Okay, how about this? I just need a little bit of an adjustment. Any better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are now 5 dB above my noise level, which is a whole lot better than half a dB, Roger.
Good thing. Yes, sir. It's been off the air for about 30 years, but just moved the dogs off the 10 marathon that I've had forever, and running a WCI or W5CI history antenna. So just really kind of curious how things are working.
Roger. Well, I would crank in a little more top-end EQ. I hear you. You're kind of a marginal situation. So I think if you had a little more top-end EQ, that would help your articulation and me to follow the bouncing words. Maybe I don't know if your top-end EQ is 0 plus 10 or 0 minus 10. If you went to a plus 5, about half your capabilities on the top-end EQ, I think that would help your articulation quite a bit.
Okay, it could be also a very, very old microphone, and it's struggling to here on the radio. So I suspect the microphone's pretty flat right now. I don't want to do up the time for
Yeah, I think our conditions kind of came back, the lack of them, because you did slip down into my noise level. So let me say 3s for now. Like I said, we are recording, and we will post this, and you'll be able to hear momentarily for a moment, your audio was up above there, about 5 dB above my noise level, so you could catch a little bit of it there. Or maybe try one more time. Let's try one more time and see where we are. Now you're still at my noise level, sir. Still at my noise level. So anyway, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, you'll be able to go to our Qso-Vlog page, and if you look for a segment called My Group Aircheck 11/30/18. That will be, that will be the one that you need to check there. This is KC9VKV. Anyway, this is KC9VKV. And the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout, and we are recording. We'll record it and post it up on YouTube. It's KC9VKV.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Yankee Alpha Lima.
Whiskey Bravo 3, was it?
Whiskey Bravo 4, Yankee Alpha Lima.
Yes, sir. What's the name, sir?
The name is John.
Roger, John. This is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and this call is KC9VKV, and we're doing our Qso-Vlog program. If you have a radio, that you wanted to check out there, here we are.
Very good, Jim. Yeah, I'm operating my FTDX 3000 today. Got the Heil 781 microphone, just running no processing, just running it with the microphone.
Standby station.
Through the radio. Running it barefoot right now, Jim.
Roger, Roger. What's your location?
Location is in Virginia and Springfield, Northern Virginia, near the D.C. area.
Roger, Roger. I'm copying you at 10 dB above my noise level. You are coming in 10 dB above my noise level, Roger.
Very good conditions. Yeah, our noise engineer is about an F6, so we were in a good condition today. Having rain here and just generally a gloomy day.
Roger, Roger. I got the first part of your call sign, WB4. What's the rest?
Yankee Alpha Lima, Whiskey Bravo 4, Yankee Alpha Lima.
Roger, Roger. John got that. And let's see. So what's your antenna there?
The antenna is a fan dipole. We've got 80 meters, 40, 20, 15, and 10. And then I have a vertical that I use sometimes for 20 meters and 6 meters.
Roger, Roger. And what's the radio again?
And the radio here is an FTDX 3000 Yaesu.
Roger, Roger. Now, I personally would crank in just a little more EQ on the top end, just a little bit more top to give it the syllabic range, just a little more articulation. Roger.
Roger. All right. So I'm going to mess with that then and try to get just a little bit more of the top end, don't you?
Yeah, Roger. Let's see. What are you reading now? Do you know what your top end reading is now on the EQ?
Yeah, top end on the EQ was 2,700 hertz there.
Roger. And how are you boosting or cutting, or what's your reading?
No, we're cutting right now.
I would take that up to flat for sure. We'd start with flat. Take that top end up, because when you roll, see, you're losing your articulation when you roll off that top end. Roger.
Roger. Does that help any that time?
I think we're headed for it now. Your mid-range EQ is flat. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Roger. And your bottom end is what?
Bottom end is 300 hertz.
Yeah. How much though?
I'm sorry.
How much? What are you doing? Cutting, boosting, or what?
Boosting.
All right. Let's leave everything the same and come up a couple of more dB on the top end EQ.
All right. Hang on just a second. I'm doing that right now.
This is KC9VKV in the afternoon, Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program. And right now John is working on his radio there.
All right, Jim. So I did that. Did that change anything?
Oh, yes, sir. I'll tell you what it is. It's like opening the door and stepping through. It's like a voice that's in another room, and then with a little bit of that EQ where it is, it's like opening the door and you've stepped through.
Great, thanks a bunch. All right, very good.
Okay, so how many? What's your boost now on the top end? How much?
Okay, on top end we're boosted up to 2,800.
Not the frequency, but how many dB push? How many? What's your top end EQ? How much?
6 dB.
All right, 6 out of how many?
6 out of 18.
Well, come up another 3.
All right, bear with me a moment.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog program where we record, and then you go to YouTube and check out your audio. Right now, John's working on his radio.
Okay, Jim, back with you there.
Okay, now you're on mic just like you were. Let me hear you for a little bit. Tell me about your antenna system.
All right. The antenna, like I say, is a fan dipole. It's up to about 42 feet. We did have quite a few trees. Now the leaves are pretty much down, so that's helped us a lot. We've noticed a big difference in receiving now. So apparently those leaves do a job on us then in the summertime, Jim.
Roger that. So now you are, what, about 6 dB at the top end EQ?
Yes, sir. That's where we are.
Try a couple more, and be sure you stay on mic. What are you, about 2 or 3 inches off mic?
Right. Yeah, I'm about 3 inches off mic.
Roger, Roger. What kind of mic is that? It's a dynamic, right?
Yes, it's the Heil 781.
Roger. Without the windscreen?
Actually, it has the windscreen on it.
Oh, so you could come a little closer?
Yeah, how's that right there? Is that any better?
Oh, I think we're taking off now. I think that sounds real good.
All righty, then we'll just leave that off.
So what is your top end now?
Okay, so top end is about 18 right now.
Oh, you are 18 now?
Yes, we've topped out now.
All right. Well, it sounds good. I mean, the oscilloscope range has come along now. If you were using a condenser microphone, that top end would already be there before you even went for the EQ. But you know, it's sounding good now, and you have some more articulation, which will help you particularly in marginal situations. You know, where you're towards the noise level, perhaps, and you don't have a real firm audio advantage over the noise. With that added equalization, it'll help the articulation, and people will be able to hear you better in marginal situations. So let me jump out, John. Conditions are changing again, and you have slipped down towards the noise. But anyway, run it for that way, and then we'll just see if it, you know, who salutes. I like it. I'm inclined to be on the top end because unfortunately, as the signal leaves your station and heads to somewhere, its destiny, all kinds of things happen to that signal. There are other skywave reflections of your signal that come down out of phase, perchance, to some degree. And the first thing that gets canceled is the top end of your audio. When that you get a reflected waveform come back down, it's slightly out of phase, will just cancel, and it starts canceling from the top down. So the first thing to get sacrificed is the oscilloscope range, the articulation. Threes, John, thanks for dropping by, and we will be posting this on YouTube in the next couple of days. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and on that page look for a segment that's called My Group Aircheck 113018. My Group Aircheck 113018. Threes, John.
All right, Jim. Thank you very much. Appreciate the help, and 73 to you. And thank you very much. I hope you have a great evening. This is WB4YAL 73.
Roger, Roger, John. That top end sounds beautiful. I love it. Catch you later. Threes. KC9VKV.
November 9, Victor, Whiskey, November.
November 9, Whiskey what?
November 9, Victor, Whiskey, November. Good morning or good afternoon.
Well, almost any of those would do. Hello. What's the name there?
Name here is Jim. I've had my license for several years. I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. But I haven't had the radio on in about 5, so you're my first contact in 5 years.
Well, all right, and you're being recorded as we speak, so what a celebration. For the first time in 5 years, you come upon an actual Qso-Vlog recording situation to document the occasion. Roger?
Yeah, I've been listening to you for about a half an hour here. I got your information all written down. I'm going to look you up as soon as you go and post it online.
Roger. Now, what kind of radio are you running and stuff like that?
I've got a Yaesu FT920 and a vertical antenna. I think it's an AV480 antenna. It's only about 30 feet in the air, and a high-level microphone.
Oh, roger that, roger that. Well, you know, I give all this advice, but I would, if you have the capabilities and the want or the need, if you cranked a couple of dB up more on the top end, that would help the articulation of that dynamic microphone. You know, I love dynamic microphones, and I love condenser microphones. I love all kinds of microphones, but I love condenser microphones more because they have the ability to capture the articulation and the nuances a lot better, I think, than dynamic microphones. And consequently, You know, sometimes you have to help the dynamic along on the top end by maybe a couple of dB or 3 dB up from flat or wherever you are at the moment, just to help the top end. Roger?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how to do that. I'll have to kind of get the book out and figure it out. I was a novice at this to start with, and then now I'm a novice to forgot what he did know. I tell you what, though, I've got a switch on my microphone that says narrow and one says wide. Right now I'm on narrow. And right now I do switch it over to wide. Does that make this difference?
You don't want that one. You don't want that option. Go back to where you were. That is a low cut. And I'm assuming that you're in low cut now, you know, but back where you were, Roger. Too much bass on that one you went to.
Okay, I'll just leave it right where it is then.
All right, yes. Whew, boy, that's nice that Bob would put the low cut on there, because that does help a great deal in in communication, because without it, you know, you're down there at 20 cycles or 30 cycles, and you know, much too low for regular ham radio operation. Roger.
Okay, so when I keep it wide, it makes my really sound like bass or what?
Roger. I think what he should have called that would be a low cut, switch. But I don't know what it's doing for the top end, so it might be something, you know, totally different. But it sounded like it was just a low cut switch, Roger.
Okay, well, at least I know where to leave it then. Yeah, I'm just sitting here listening to you guys chat out there and going through the instruction manual on my radio again. Like I said, it's been a while since I had it on.
Roger that, yeah. I think that now that I hear you a little better, I think that top end is all right. You could, if you wanted to, add a couple of dB to it, but it is good where it is. Roger.
Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly how I would do that, but okay. I've got my, what's your sound? I'm going to turn my mic gain up. I got my mic gain all the way up now. How's that sound?
Well, you know, normally what we're looking for is about a 3 dB dynamic range, and that is, you know, unprocessed. The signal is usually like, no, I don't know. The meter's flopping around with every word, you know, unprocessed. And then as you start to compress and limit and whatever, your audio signal starts to fatten. And when you get to a point where you have about a 3 dB dynamic range, that's pretty much ideal for amateur radio use. You know, it's a lot fatter than not, but not too fat. Roger.
Okay, real good. Well, it's nice to make your contact out there, and I'll just sit back here and listen and see whatever the other stations come in. So you have yourself a good day there. I think it's KC9VKV. This is November 9, Victor Whiskey November in Wisconsin.
Roger, Jim, and we will be posting this air check in the next couple of days. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and then you look for a segment that's called My Group Air Check 11:30:18. My Group Air Check 11:30:18. Roger.
Fast forward right to it. I've got 3:59 p.m. here. What time are you at?
I've got 4 minutes past 5, and we started right at 3:30 or thereabouts. Roger.
Okay, so you said you're going, if I remember correctly, 3:30 to 5, so I should be right at the end of the program there somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. Just before I turn into a pumpkin.
Okay, easy to find then. Thank you very much. This is N9 VWN.
Roger, and the 3's to you, sir, and have a good afternoon. And there's another station there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a contact with N9 VWN there real quick, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Are you there, N9 VWN, WA0 JIM?
JIM, go ahead. This is N9 VWN.
Okay, real good. Well, good afternoon to you. Name here is Jim. Just thought I'd let you know that you got a little problem with your transmitter. It's flattering over kc up from this frequency, and it looks kind of ragged on the band scope. So something's going on. It's either getting overdriven or there's something not right with it.
Okay, how's that? I turned the power down a little bit.
Well, it's give it to me again.
Okay, I was running full power, which is only 100 watts here. I turned it down to 75%.
Okay, well, it's still got a little bit up above there. I don't know what rig is it?
Yaesu 920.
Huh, that's odd. Well, because normally those don't do that. But if you get an opportunity to be able to look at it on a scope and play with it a little bit, there may be maybe it's a little out of line or something on the modulator that's causing that to be a little spiky and going up there. But anyway, I didn't mean to be. I'm not meaning to be critical. I just thought I'd let you know what I'm seeing.
Okay, real good. The scope can spot it. Is it something that's noticeable in the audio or just on the scope?
Well, it's kind of noticeable in the audio. What I'm noticing is that it's just got it's like it doesn't have enough upper sideband suppression.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what to do about that, I guess.
All right. Well, hey, I'm not going to tie it up anymore. Just have a great weekend coming up, and hey, thanks for taking the time to listen, and I appreciate it. Have a great day. Name is Jim, by the way. I'm in Lee Summit, Missouri. Take care.
This is N9VWN, Wisconsin. Name is Jim. Bye.
Jim, I just wonder if do you have a band width adjustment on your radio?
Well, I'm not really sure.
Roger, some of them do. Is that a newer radio?
No, I've had it for probably 15 years, and I bought it used.
Oh, I see. Yeah, a lot of the more current radios have band width adjustments, and I was just saying you might run it reduced bandwidth till you could figure out what it was. Roger.
Okay, well, I guess that's something I should probably get the book out here and start reading some more.
Yeah, Roger. All right, threes to you, sir, and I'll let you ponder that. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV.
Have a good day, KC9VKV and
KC9VKV. Do you copy November 1, Golf Mike Victor?
November 1, Golf Mike Victor?
Yeah, roger on that. Jim, you got John here in North Carolina, over.
Roger, John. What's going on, sir?
Well, you're probably the guy I need to speak with. I wanted to know if I've got this EQ set up right. I'm using the Heil PR780, I think it's a 781, and an 8-band EQ, and I'm feeding it into an Icon 7610, over.
Oh, Roger. Well, yeah, you're about 2 dB dynamic range, so a 7610, huh?
Yeah, I wanted this rig. It was too expensive at first. I bought a 7300. I liked it, but I always wanted this rig. So when it came down in price, that's what I did. I said, you only live once. Go ahead.
All right. Now, I was hoping to be able to do some experimentations with a 7610 this afternoon with somebody that was giving me at least a 10 over my noise level, and so far you've fit the picture, Roger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm running barefoot. I don't have a beam on my dipole antenna. But yeah, I'd be happy to check it out, whatever you need. This is just a real inexpensive EQ, and you were saying that you like the other microphones. I have also an SM50 desk mic, and I can switch over that because it's on a AB switch. Let me switch. Now I'm on the SM50 desk mic, and this is without the EQ. Go ahead.
Roger, what I was really interested in doing, and I don't know if you still have it, but I wanted to check out the stock hand mic against your, the mic that you're using now. I'm developing some kind of a thought process about that stock hand mic, and I just wanted to compare it, if you still had it and could put it in line.
Yeah, I have it. I don't. I think it's in the closet, though, in the box. I kind of put it away there because I really don't use it. But I did when I got the 7300. I did that, and people said they liked the sound of that hand mic a lot.
Right. I think there was a great deal of work involved in that microphone to accentuate the positives of the 7300 and the 7610. That mic, I've heard a demonstration of that mic was, and they were working it close but across it, and it was just breathtaking. I mean, you know, for a stock hand mic, and what I'm saying is that you would have to go to a lot of EQ to duplicate that on a dynamic microphone response. Roger?
Yeah, copy that. Well, I'm on the EQ again. But yeah, I heard my wife on this radio, and I thought it was too mushy. So I usually try to keep the bass back and try to get a little bit more mid-rangey. But you might be right. It could be better on something like that. I mean, communications quality for amateur radio isn't the same as high fidelity. You know, we need it to punch through. So. But I think you might be right on that. If you want to make another contact, I'll go and get that microphone out. I gotta find it though, and I know I got it because I got two ICOMs here. I got right next to this. I got the 9100, so I got a microphone for both of them. Over.
Roger, they both use the same mic, Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger, I thought so. Yeah, you know, I just was amazed at the tonality of that microphone. You can't work into it without a windscreen, but you can work it across, and just you know, just a condenser microphone. You know, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, copy that. Well, a lot of people with the new radios today, they're doing the condenser mics. They don't have enough windscreen over them, and you get a lot of that popping, you know. Especially on the 2 meters, I hear them all the time on their handhelds. And I have to admit, even mine is, I get it once in a while, too. So hopefully I don't have too much of it on this thing. I'm about 6 inches from the microphone, and I got a little bit above me. But does it sound better than the SM50, in your opinion?
This is the radio you started with? I mean, the microphone you started with?
Yeah, so this is the SM50, and, no, I'm sorry. I was on the 781. Now this is the SM50, and let me put the low cut on. And I usually run it with the low cut, so I don't have as much bass. Over.
Roger, you might be cutting too hard into your bass line. You might want to be just a little bit more fuller. I mean, you are nowhere near getting muddy. I mean, you've got a ballpark to allow the lower frequencies in there without you know, getting any kind of problems at all. Right now, it sounds like you are pretty much rolling out about 300 cycles or so.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting enough. All right. So I just took off the low cut, and that's on the SM50. Over.
Roger. Now, is that your favorite mic, or what? What's the other one?
Well, to be honest with you, I like the 781, but I can't run it with the amp. I get RFI, and I think it's my EQ that causes it. So I got chokes all over the place. I mean, I can use it barefoot, but when I run the amp, it's no good. So usually I end up just going back to the SM50. And yeah, so the 781, I've been running the EQ on it because it's just I have to turn the mic gain all the way up, and even then it didn't perform the way I wanted it to until I got the EQ. Over.
Roger. Now, that mic sounded pretty mid-rangey, like around 2K, pretty hot at 2K. Where, you know, what I normally do on the mic EQ is I'll leave the mid-range EQ, the middle EQ flat, I'll leave that flat because that is that is the signal, you know, 1K or 1.5K or whatever. I'll just leave that flat, and then I'll go up to the top end, and I'll usually crank in about half of its capabilities, you know, on a positive situation. Like if it's a 0 to 10, I'll run up on the top end about a +5, and then it's the whole ball game then goes to the bottom EQ. And if you're in flat, bottom in EQ, you're, you know, for more like rag chewing, you know, and maybe even a plus, depending on the mic itself. And then obviously when you get into wanting to do contest or DXing, then you're going to pull that bottom end back. Maybe -2, -3, and your microphone becomes an attack dog. But it all, once you get that top end, the mid-range stays flat, the top end like about a plus, well, whatever it is, halfway of its capabilities, and then it's all in the mid-range, in the bottom end then, where you make it for Qso, which is more mellow. You might be a flat, might be +0, +1, +2, and then for the attack mic, you roll off that bottom end. The thing is, you know, if you start to roll off the top end, that's all your articulation, and that's all your, you know, the understanding of what you're saying. And just that mid-range is not going to help the articulation. It's that top end that actually defines the word when you have a massive pile-up. Roger? John, I think we faded out there, partner. Gosh, John. Well, anyway, let me say threes, John. Gosh, Mother Nature took away our good Qso. Roger, Roger. I'll say threes for now, and you have a good afternoon, John. We'll pick this up next Friday. Next Friday we'll do our Qso-Vlog again between 3:30 and 5, where we're running you know, recording, and if you have a radio you want to check out, drop by between 3:30 and 5 next Friday on this frequency, and we'll be here. And for those that did participate today, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and on that page there will be a segment called My Group Aircheck 11/30/18. My Group Aircheck 11/30/18. So until next Friday afternoon, threes all. We'll catch you later. And this is KC9VKV. We'll be clear.